Hi guys, welcome to another one of my YouTube videos where I'll be talking about the Real Housewife of Atlanta that just aired this past Sunday, the 9th of March. Yes, guys. So first I'd like to say I am enjoying the show. I enjoyed the first episode. First when I heard about all these new girls, I was like, I'm not watching. Whatever I was seeing, I did not like. What I saw this past Sunday, I liked. Before we go any further, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit all so that whenever I post these videos, you'll get notified, because I'm very much always into what I'm talking about. Like, I know what I'm talking about. So like the video. Anyways, guys, so we know that Portia and her man Simon is going through a divorce. Simon is in ICE custody, allegedly. Portia is here to make sure she drags Simon through the dirt. Now, I've seen a video with Portia. I don't remember if it was on Watch What Happens Live, because she was on Watch What Happens Live this past Sunday after the show aired. And she was saying that Simon wanted her to appear in court personally, like he wanted her to be there, and she didn't want to be there. And then she was supposed to be there like soon. And then all of a sudden he was arrested by ICE. Now, is that coincidental? I don't know. When Simon got detained, a lot of people was saying, majority of the people was saying that Portia was the one that called ICE on Mr. Gabadia. I did not believe so, based on some of the things that I've learned about this whole ICE thing and everything that's happening right now. People have court dates and they are told to turn themselves in at a certain date and time. And so I was assuming that maybe Simon has one of them things where he is asked to turn himself in at a certain date and time. And maybe this was one of the instances. I really don't know. Or maybe Portia called in the people on him. I don't know. Anyways, girl, there's a girl on the show. I totally forgot her name. When I started, I remembered. One of the new girls who decided to call Portia out and like, girl, why did you take that girl's man? And of course, we know our girl Portia did not like that. She did not take an like to that very much. She said that, well, in her confessional, she's saying like that girl needs to go back and rewrite her script. So Portia didn't like that. But Portia, we're not here for you to just be on here dragging Simon. We want to know what happened in this divorce. We want to know how this divorce started. In the video off the show, you said that you and Simon was having problems. And then all of a sudden, the ICE situation came in, or whatever, where it's alleged that Simon doesn't have any papers and all these things. And you said that you filed for divorce to protect your assets. Now, do we think Portia loved Mr. Gabadia? Well, I don't. I think she was just there for the money. I've always said this. I think she was there for the money. I could see, or I think I've heard that, what's her name? Her best friend, SHAMMEA. I think I've either seen or I've heard that SHAMMEA's husband had some wealth. And I just kind of felt like maybe Portia wants some of what SHAMMEA has, and it's that African money, right? And on the show, we're just realizing, now we're hearing SHAMMEA is worth a lot, according to her, allegedly. And she has not put in her wealth to anyone. She did not let anyone know of her wealth prior to all of this. She did not share any of that with any of us. But she is now deciding to share that with us. Right, guys? Right. She's now deciding to share that with us, rightfully so, because now she has a peach. And what we want for our peach holders to do is tell us their business. A lot of peach holders normally don't tell us their business, like Portia. I don't know why in heaven most of the people wanted Portia to come back, because Portia just does not do her job. She does not tell us her business. We don't know what's going on with Portia. And as soon as she had some business to share, she jumped off the radar and she went with Mr. Gabadia. Ever since Portia got with Gabadia, she came off the show because, according to her, Mr. Gabadia told her that he needed her to stay home and he will take care of her. I don't know how much she stayed home because she was doing other jobs. She was doing go naked hair and whatever hell she was doing. So I mean, she probably just stayed off of what a real housewife of Atlanta. But now we know that she's back because she needs the paycheck, right? So she needs the paycheck like Quad over after just like Quad in Married to Medicine does need a paycheck from the real housewife of Atlanta. So I guess this franchise thing is not so bad after all. And guys, forgive me for rocking back and forth. Sometimes when I'm tired, I do rock back and forth. So that's why I'm doing that. I just did another live. I was just got off a live on my other YouTube channel. So, and then I made my daughter breakfast. So I'm a little bit tired, right? But like, what are your true feelings about now finding out that SHAMMEA Moore is actually wealthy, so to speak, according to her on the show? She said that her house was the second highest expensive home in Atlanta that was sold whenever. No, we know that it's not actually work wealth. Like, what's that word? What do you call that word? Not like, she didn't work for that. Like, that's all probably from her husband. So she gained this wealth from her husband. So yes, but that's why I feel as if what's her name, Portia, wanted to go out and get Fallon's husband, not knowing that she was picking up a whole bag of luggage. But guys, all I can remember is, do you guys remember when Portia was shooting her own show, and I guess Simon was calling her and she was like, I can't do this again. Like, can I get a break? Like, my knees hurt. Like, that was basically telling me like Simon's thing was not working one way or the other. His thing was not working, and she had to be up on her foot all the time entertaining Simon because that thing wasn't working. I mean, it really wasn't. Like, what else can I say? Like, I remember from that time. So Portia had to be working that mouth constantly, you know, constantly. But we know that our girl SHAMMEA is now wealthy or been wealthy, and maybe that's why she and what's her name, Candy clicks so much. Because, well, I don't think so, because I think Candy is just a natural person. Candy is a businesswoman, self-made. She didn't marry into wealth or whatever, but SHAMMEA obviously has. And SHAMMEA has some coins, guys. SHAMMEA's house has 3 elevators in it. SHAMMEA has a big, huge, wonderful family. We've seen SHAMMEA's family on the show. We did not see the guys, but hopefully we can see more of SHAMMEA and her family and his family. I would love to see his family, his African family. So, guys, let's watch with me. The show comes on Sundays at 5 Pacific, and that will probably be 8 o'clock Eastern. So let's watch. I hope it still stays on the eye. Everyone is giving the show a 10 out of 10, and I'm not gonna lie, it exceeds my expectations, because I thought that I didn't know it was gonna be this good, because of like what we've been hearing, and then there's all these new ladies, and basically when I seen the premieres, it did not do any justice for me. Like, I didn't get or see anything where the show was going to be off and popping like it is currently doing right now. So Brit Itd, or whatever her name is allegedly the one who started all this rumpus with Kenya Moore that we've been hearing on the internet. You know that Kenya Moore won't be on the show fully 100%. However, she was showed in the first episode. She was there in all her glory. I also heard Kenya did an interview with Tamron All, and she said she's still a housewife of Atlanta, of the network. Excuse me, guys. She's still a Atlanta housewife. She's still currently being paid. So whatever happened between she and Britty Iddy, or I can't say her name, Britty Iddy, whatever it's called, she's still getting paid. So she's not there. It's like being injured or whatever, being investigated on a show, but you're still getting paid. She's still getting paid. She's still an paid employee of the Real Housewife of Atlanta. She's just not going to be there in all the episodes because she allegedly showed some scandalous picture on Britty Iddy, whatever her name is, okay? Britty Iddy seems like she, guys, that's not how her name is pronounced, but I don't know how to pronounce it right now. Britty, I'm going to call her Brit. Brittany, okay, there. I'm going to call her Brittany for right now. Brittany seems to be married to a guy that seems a little bit Caucasian. I'm not really sure what he is. But she said that her diamond was increased from a six whatever to 10 whatever gold. I mean diamond, whatever, however they count the diamonds. I know how they do, but I told you guys I'm a little bit mentally tired, so I'm tired. When the show started, like I said earlier, also, she was the one, Brittany, that came after Portia, asking Portia why did she sleep with that girl's husband. So yes, guys, the Real Housewives of Atlanta newbies, they are definitely up in the antics. I like what I'm seeing so far. Normally, I don't like anyone coming for my favorites. And if you come for my favorites, you're coming for me. And I'm going to dislike you. So, Brittany, I don't know what's going to happen. Or Iddy, I don't know what's going to happen with me and you. Once I see the part where you got into it with Kenya, I don't know if I'm going to like you after that. Because obviously, you guys must have done something wrong. Why the show is starting this late, like a year later, over a year later. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you did to Miss Kenya Moore, Miss USA, Portia. You know, not Portia. Kenya was the second black woman to ever be Miss USA. So Miss Kenya is a big thing. Not so much Miss Portia, because we know that she was on the women's show over there on ABC7 with Whoopi and Joy and them, and she was saying some things, saying that a woman has a right to walk out of their marriages and all these things. Not there's anything wrong with that, but there's a man on the show, was on the show, who seemed to believe in marriages and seemed to have been hurt by a divorce, that said that he does not agree with Portia, and what Portia is saying is not good. You know, sometimes, you know, you should choose your kids over getting divorced. I don't agree with that, but I can understand the pain that kids can go through because of a divorce, a separation, with both parents not being there physically in the home with them. It can have an emotional and mental breakdown. And yes, so he called out Portia, and then, you know, Peter, who is still awaiting to be sentenced to prison because he did not pay his taxes that his employees were paying him. He lashed out on Portia, saying that she has bad rep and she keeps on getting slander out there because of what she says. And I guess because of what Portia said, you know, Portia has been known to historically speak things are like the Underground Railroad that I don't even really know nothing about. But she said that her father was a slave or whatever the hell she said. Anyways, guys, Britty Iddy is the one that came after Portia. She's the one that got into it with Kenya, for Kenya to not be on the show anymore. So obviously there is something about this Britty Iddy that Bravo likes, and why Kenya got the boot temporarily with pay, and Britty Itty 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 is still on there. However, Britty Itty Itty and the other girl, where her wig was shift and her husband told her about it, they seem to be doing their job so far. So far, I think there's like 2 new women other than SHAMMEA, Cynthia, Portia. I hope Portia gets dragged for the rest of the season. I really do. Oh yes, somebody needs to drag her and hold her feet to the fire. Somebody needs to really drag her little butt. But we don't know what's going to happen at the end, literally at the end, when Phaedra Parks came back from Married to Medicine to probably help Portia, Frick and Frack. So we don't know what's going to happen. But guys, if you reach this far, I'm asking you to please like the video. Please share this video with a friend. And also subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit all so that when I come on, you'll be notified. What are your thoughts on Drew Sidora and Dennis McKinley, Portia baby daddy? Well, according to Drew Sidora, Dennis McKinley saved her. We find out from Drew Sidora that Dennis McKinley is helping her with music, and he's been her knight in shining armor. And sometimes she didn't want to get out of bed because she's stressing so much with her husband. Dennis is the one that actually saved her. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird because I've never heard of Dennis doing music, but then again, we haven't really been seeing Dennis, because if Portia is not on the show, Dennis is not on the show. Dennis comes along with Portia. Does Dennis get paid to be on the show? I don't know. I mean, he gets to promote his hot dogs. Yes, guys, he literally has a hot dog place or something to that sort. I remember that from the show, because I've been watching The Real Housewife now for a very long time, since I was like in my 20s or something. Like many years I've been watching The Real Housewife of Atlanta. So we know that Dennis McKinley does the food thing, the hot dog and all that stuff. But do we know of Dennis McKinley being a producer, anything like that? No. Is it easy to be a music producer? I mean, I guess if you know what you're doing and if you have the money or something to that sort, then I guess. So I'm not going to say what Drew is saying is not true or what the heck, I don't know what's going on, so whatever. I'm not gonna say any of that. So yeah, just let them be and let them do their thing, and we shall see what they are talking about. Anyways, Portia and Dennis was talking, and Portia is not so happy that Dennis is doing music or whatever, doing music for helping whatever Drew Sidora. And Portia is saying that she thinks that it's inappropriate and she does not want Dennis to film with Drew Sidora. Now, Portia child, why would you not want Dennis to film with Drew Sidora? Like, you're giving off some very jealous energy, and we are not here for that. Because when you was with Simon, he never asked you to not do anything with Simon. At the end of the day, I'm assuming that Dennis gets some money or whatever. I don't know. The more airtime, the better. And why don't we? I want to see that. I want to hear what's going on. So I hope nothing happens with that. I hope they film so we can see what's really going on with this whole helping of the music and blah, blah, blah. No. I don't really know what's going on with Drew Sidora, because I heard from someone who lives in Georgia. I heard from someone who lives in Georgia, allegedly, that Drew Sidora was spotted at the airport, and these people spoke to Drew Sidora, and Drew Sidora said that she was getting a call from her husband. And I don't know how long ago that was. But Drew Sidora said that I forgot to ask how long ago that was, because we know that the show was filmed a long time ago. So maybe I shouldn't even bother to talk about this. But from the conversation I was getting at the time, it seemed like it was recently. And Drew Sidora was getting a call from her husband. And I don't know why she's calling her husband if they are going through a divorce and things are not amicable and all that stuff. But the information that I received, the conversation was like, she didn't sound like she was going through any kind of divorce. So I don't know if these people are playing us for airtime, story time. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. But, you know, sometimes when you're married, people like to play this my husband game or my wife game. Even if they're going through a divorce, sometimes they like to use this controlling word of calling their significant other when it's necessary for them, calling them my husband or my wife, because it feels good, or it fits in perfectly with their lifestyle at the moment to say my wife or my husband. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, guys, what are your thoughts on Miss Portia not wanting Drew to do music with Dennis, not wanting Dennis to film with Drew, which is crazy to me, because right there, you taking money out of your child's mouth. And she and they should learn a thing or two from Phaedra Parks, who welcomes Apollo to film with her because it's more money for her children. So I think they should learn a thing or two and stop trying to stop people's pockets because you're upset about it. When you have a child with someone, let him work, let her work, so that she can take care of your children. That's less difficulty on you. Yes, that's less difficulty on you. Stop trying to stop their pockets because you're really taking away from yourself. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell and choose all so that you'll be notified when I drop a new video. Thank you all so much for watching, and drop a heart at the end if you got to the end with me. Bye now.